Granite Village, wake up you little piece of garbage. It's time for school. Rajun rubbed his eyes, as his blood felt like a stream of poison at his mother's words. She was a big, dark-haired woman that was borderline psychotic. He went right into the shower, still in a daze from last rise's dreams. He remembered them all for some reason. The world was burning as far as his eyes could see. That dream was the longest to him. It lasted the equivalent of months, but it was just mere moments in his consciousness. It was just a dream, but he could feel the heat. When he turned on the faucet, the cold water wasn't refreshing to him. It was uncomfortable. The bar of soap, however, had a pleasant aroma. He brushed his teeth and then thoroughly dried himself off. He had to wear that weird red and white school uniform, the one with the suspenders and coin shoes. He was 12 rotations, just old enough to take a buggy to school. The runners seemed to be in top shape. Tihei had to be. He was carrying children and adults alike in that buggy of his. He was holding on to 2 wooden handles. The guy had to be over 45 rotations, and Rajun felt sorry for him. Rajun also felt sorry for himself at times, but this guy had it bad. Sometimes rocks were thrown at the carrier for going up the wrong side of town. They'd hurl insults that seemed to demoralize everyone. The tips at the end of the ride barely made up for it. Needless to say, many in Granite Village was poor. In school, they never spoke about the reason Granite was poor, but it was due to hostile invaders. They arrived in waterships. In the darkness, when the twin suns of June were down, and the weather was cool, they came for the black gold, and they took over the mountains with the precious material. Black gold was even a power source that was used in some blasters. The precious metal was magnificent, its sheer beauty astonishing. Many were blasted at close range for it. The women were stripped of their jewelry and possessions. Soon, the invaders started creating laws and rules for the beings of Granite to follow. Certain areas were now off limits. They took over the nice places and left everyone else with the scraps. The invaders settled, changing the names of areas and building monuments to themselves. When the people fought back, they couldn't stand up to the cruelty and weapons of the invaders. Many men lost their lives. The invaders began having children with the captured women, but the babies, when they grew up, were put to work, deemed inferior to the pure-blood invaders. The education system was wiped out and remade in the image of the new gods and their culture. More importantly, new ways of seeing oneself was introduced. The people didn't think much of themselves after a while. Temples of Julal were erected, and the books given to former lawmakers were considered fact. Unlike other gods, however, Jalal actually existed, but he wasn't good by any means. He was a twisted, wicked being of power. Jalal seemed to always have been there. He and his brother Neem, working the souls of realities, they played a twisted game, and they always won. One hand washed the other. Seemed like they were opposites, but they were one in the same. 2 brothers playing with the lives of the innocent. Rajun always suspected that something was wrong with the world. His mother only followed Jelal because of some of the ancient texts that said that children should honor their parents despite ill treatment, but she ignored the part about her taking accountability for her actions. Escaping Granite seemed impossible for Rajun, though where would he go, staying still? He survived. This was an evil that he knew. The teachers with whips and sadistic attitudes embraced invader teachings, the tax collectors with blasters at their sides, not to mention the citizen enforcers, that were now on every corner with stun weapons and steel clubs. Orders came from above and the people were